Hello, hello, hello. It is Cassandra Terry, your manifesting miracle maker, and it is Focus Friday. We have made it to the end for a lot of us of another work week, and I'm in a different location. If you can't tell from my background, I'm usually working or coming at you guys from my home office, but I traveled late last night and got to my parents' house, so the background's a little different. There's going to be background noise because they're getting ready. And folks, let me see what's going on. Just background music. Huh. My microphone was acting a little funny this morning when I first joined, and I thought I had worked it out. Let me see. See if I can figure out what's happening. Okay, it seems to be live. For you guys, just hang on. Let me see. Oh, you said you can hear now? All right. Hopefully everybody. Okay, TC also said that she can hear me now. So hopefully it stays okay. Eric, my brother, good morning. I hope you are well. If you guys have any other trouble, do the same thing that you did. Please just drop it in the drop a comment. Let's see, Carol. Yes, I had just music too. I had to log out a few times. I can hear you now. Awesome. So while we have it, I live about 3 hours from here. So I packed up my little studio last night. So I've got a laptop, an iPad, a cage for my phone, my external speaker camera. I packed all that stuff up and I set it up before I went to bed last night. I see Lisa O'Brien saying good morning. Good morning to you. DJ Joshua, good morning. Welcome, everybody. And I realize that we have an international audience, so it's not morning to everyone. So, good morning, good afternoon, good day, wherever you are in the world, make it good. I'm not saying that I hope it's good. I'm not saying that I'm praying that it's good, although I am. I'm saying make it good because we have some skin in the game. We have a lot more power than we give ourselves credit for. So I want to encourage you to make sure that you're focusing on what is good and that you're creating more good in your space because you have the power to do just that. Good morning, Sonia. So good to see you. So let me share the quote with you guys this morning. This one's a short one, so I think I can remember it. It may not be exact, but close enough without having to pull it up. And it basically says that it is not time that is the issue, it's lack of direction. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. And I think I may have used that quote before, but it just cuts right to the chase, right? It says exactly what focus is all about. When you're focused, you're intentional with your time. When you're focused, you're deliberate about the activities that you're involved in. When you're focused, you have a clear end goal in mind. There's something that you want to accomplish, somewhere you would like to be. There's something in your life that you would like to be different, and you have locked in and you have a plan that you're committed to, and you get to that point where you're not just thinking about your plan, but you actually are implementing that plan, and you're taking the necessary actions to get from where you are now to where it is that you would like to be. That's focused. That's focused. We are all busy. I've talked about this before, at least once this week. Good morning, my sister Denise. Happy to see you here. When we are busy, we are doing a lot of stuff, right? And most of us are. We're so busy. We're here, we're there, we're doing this thing, that thing, the other thing. And because we're doing a lot of stuff, we're feeling good about the activities. We're feeling good about at least the activity level. But if we step back for just a moment, it's not about how much stuff you're doing, it's about whether or not you're doing the right things to accomplish the goals that you have for yourself. Well, they didn't hear you because they were only hearing music when you came through. So before you leave, y'all, my mama gonna bless y'all before she leave. Get down so the camera can see you.
Good morning. If the Lord woke you up this morning, you ought to be glad about it. Give him the praise. Amen. Don't know you, but I love you.
Bye, mother.
Love
Have a
you.
one. Love you too. Have a wonderful day. So, Eric said, "Hey, mama." Didn't I tell you, Eric and Denise? I'm not sure if Brian is here yet, but he'll be here short. If he'll catch it later if he doesn't join us in real time. And I just told you guys yesterday how my mother can sing, right? So now, from to now to the end of time, that is recorded and will show up. A little bit more of the world got to see what my mama's made of, and where her heart instantly goes when she's asked to sing. So that's a good portion of the me, right? That's where it started. That's mom. So let's see. Who else do I see? Red. Is that my sister? Is that you, Dee Dee? I can't tell, but the last name is right. I'm not sure if that's you, but whoever is red wine, drop your name so I know which family member is hanging out this morning. All right, so that was my mom. I wish it's so. You are so peaceful. Thank you. I wish I had been with her yesterday because on Thursdays is Thankful Thursday and we talk about gratitude. And didn't what she said just fit into that perfectly? But every day, just like she said, is a day to be thankful for. If we woke up on this side, if our eyes are open and the lungs are filling with air, and we have a new opportunity, we have an opportunity every single day, right? To make different choices, to make the plans, to develop, to have the life that we desire, and to do something about it. Hello and happy Friday to you also, Muhammad. Um, Let's see. Nice shirt from Mr. Gut Stretcher. Oh, I'm a Texas Longhorns fan through and through. So Eric, I, just in case you were off base yesterday when you was talking about the teams. Texas all the way. Let's see. It's the Rick's saying. So I see you guys are still coming in. Come on in. Oh, it's Duck. Okay. Hello, Duck. I will see you tomorrow and finally get to meet Keegan. I hope. I'm so excited. All right. So let's go back over the since I had a little sidebar with my mom. Let me bring it back, bring us back into focus, right? Because isn't that just like life? Doesn't life keep lifing and things happen and you're on course and you've got your plan and you're walking through life. You think things are happening the way you want, and then all of a sudden somebody comes up over your shoulders and drops a song, right? That's life. Distractions happen, things happen. And when you realize that everything awareness is so powerful, everything, as soon as you realize that you're off track, you can do you now you're back in the power seat because you can make the choice to get back on course. So that was just a little real time example, right, of what focus is and isn't. For a moment I was so into listening to my mother sing that what it was about, why we're here today, kind of slid away. It's going to be like that all weekend because I haven't been home in a while, and I've got a family filled weekend that I'm excited about. So there's no telling what kind of lives you guys may see over the next couple of days, because my family is a lot of fun and they are crazy. Have you guys ever heard the saying, I shook the family tree and a bunch of nuts fell out? That's us. There will be nuts falling out all around me this weekend. A little late, sis. Grand rising, everyone. I just said your name. I know that's you, Brian, even though you're showing up as LinkedIn user for some reason. My mom just sung, so you have to go back and catch the beginning of the replay after this is over, so you can see your Texas mom drop a little tune. It was just a little snippet, just to let folks know what she can do. So she's mastered that marketing tip of just a drip, just giving you a little bit to make you want to come back for more. So our quote for today. Hello, Erica, to get us back focused and back on track, like I said I would. It's a little hard because I'm out of my normal element. But our quote for today is um, time is not the issue, it's lack of focus, because we all have the same 24 hours. And that's by Zig Ziglar. I will pull it up because I know I'm somewhat butchering it, but the sentiment is the same. So this is even better than what I said. Lack of direction, not lack of time, is the problem. We all have 24-hour days. That's Zig Ziglar. Lack of direction, not lack of time, is the problem. We all have 24-hour days. Lisa, right now I'm in McKinney, Texas, but usually I'm in the Austin area. It's where is where I live. All right, so you got it. Lack of direction, not lack of time, is the problem. We all have 24 hour days. So when you think about that, when you really think about that, whether you have just blown the roof off because you've accomplished so many things, or you're still kind of sitting at the starting gate trying to figure out how you want things to unfold, what it is you're going to do. So the person who hasn't even started versus the person that is just blowing it out, just accomplishing all their goals, knocking them down as quickly as they come. Both people have the same 24-hour days. I call time the great equalizer. It doesn't matter your race. It does not matter your sex. It does not matter your sociological background. Whatever is, whoever you are, you have 24 hours in a day. So the question is, what are you doing with those precious resources that you've been given equally? The one thing that we all get equally. What are you doing with those resources? Do you have clarity? Do you have a plan? And are you executing that plan? Focus will help you with that. First, you have to focus on the desires of your heart. What is it that you really want? What are the goals that you have set for yourself? How would you like to see your life unfold? Are there things in your life that you would like to be different in a month, 6 months, a year than today? Spend some quiet time with yourself and get really clear about that. And once you know what it is you want, that's the first focus. I've got clarity of goal. I know where it is I'm trying to go. Then you have to build your plan. I like to talk about, if thinking about, especially for you ladies on, have you ever gone to the mall and there's a new store and you just, they're having a great sale, grand opening, and you want to get there. So we go to into the mall. What do we look for? We look for the directory. We look for that mall directory. And we know you men don't like directions, so I'm talking to the ladies right now. So you look for that mall directory and you locate the store, and you find it on the map. So now you know here's where you're trying to go. But how do you get there? How do you really plot that chart, that course? How do you plot that course? You need one more piece of information. The map also has a gold star on it or a white star on it. And underneath that star, it says, you are here. So you also need to know what your starting point is. So if you know where you are, you've got that clarity, you've done that self-assessment, you understand what you need in order to get where you're trying to go. Now you've got the 2 data points. You are here, and where you want to go is there. So now you just have to plot the course between those 2 places, right? And because you know them both, you can plot the most efficient route. So now you've decided how you're going to get from point A to point B, how you're going to get there. Now you've got your plan. You have your roadmap. You've charted your course. You know how to get from where you are to where it is that you would like to be. So now what? You have to start walking. You have to put one foot in front of the other in order to get from point A to point B. That's your implementation. It's time to start taking steps. We can look at the map all day long. We can plot, we can plan, we can figure things out. But until we start putting some energy into that plan, nothing is going to happen. You're still standing where you were. You're still at the starting point. But now you at least have that roadmap. It's time to go. Put the action in, take the steps, and start to walk step by step. I am not asking you to leap. I'm not asking you to defy gravity and fly. I'm asking you to put one foot in front of the other, taking clear, consistent, deliberate steps until you hit the location. That's how we do it. Each step is a focused, deliberate, chosen action because we know where it is we're trying to go. So when you're walking by and the perfume lady comes and wants to squirt you, because we're still at the mall, right, ladies? She's trying to squirt you and divert you because she's got this good smelling stuff. Over here is the food court. So something's smelling good over there. And oh, that bag might match what I want to wear to church next week. And you've got all these distractions around you. Now you've got to decide. You know the course that you've chosen. You know now what it's going to take to get from point A to point B. Are you committed to your plan? And are you willing to stay on course and take those deliberate actions, right? If you get distracted, like I did by my beautiful mom a little while ago, as soon as you realize that I'm off course, I've got a house full of perfumes and I'm over here smelling what this lady has to offer. Why am I doing that? I don't need perfume. Instead of beating yourself up, you realize that you're back in the driver's seat. You're back in control because you've realized that you've taken yourself off course. And now all you have to do is get back on. So part of our issue is that we're so hard on ourselves. When we learn that we're off course, when we learn that things aren't unfolding exactly how we wanted, instead of recalibrating, getting back on course, we start to beat ourselves up. That's when we can fall prey to that internal negative messaging, those self-limiting beliefs, that negative self-talk. I knew you weren't going to do it. I don't even know why I tried. I never finish what I started. And before you know it, you're talking yourself backwards. Now you're either standing still and you're just beating yourself up, or you're convincing yourself that you were never going to make it to the journey anyway. And now you're backing up. You're headed back to your car. When you realize that that's happening, you tap in, you actually listen to what you're saying, catch that messaging, and start to reframe it. Hey, the perfume smelled good. Or the food court was calling. I needed a little snack, but I'm back on course. I can still do this. I'm a little bit closer than I was. I was just distracted for a moment. Now I'm back in on course and I'm headed back to my destination. So we have to talk to ourselves. Thank you, Miss Campbell. Miss Campbell said this is good. We have to talk to ourselves. We have to reaffirm ourselves. We have to speak life over ourselves. And we have to realize that when things are not going the way that we would like, we still have the opportunity to self-correct, course correct, get back in the game. Don't allow your internal messaging to keep you off course just that much longer, right? So Erica says, yes, set intentions to prioritize your day, week, month, year, and life. Absolutely. Good morning, Cliff. Glad to see you again. And Deirdre says, focus, deliberate, chosen actions. And it scrolled by, but I did see that you said you've got family in the Austin area. I have been there for years and years and years, since the 80s. So yeah, Austin is my second home, but the DFW area is where I'm originally from. So Deirdre said, reframe self-talk. This is helpful. It is one of your biggest tools. If you can catch that self-talk, if you can catch that negative self-talk, you have the opportunity to, one, understand what the messaging that is playing in your head, the things that because that's in the driver's seat, your internal voice. Bye, Toya. So my sister's a teacher. She's off to change young minds and support the youth. So um I can't wait till the school day is over. I'm like the kids. I can't wait till everybody finishes school and work so we can have a good time. So see how quickly I can lose focus? But instead of going, oh my God, and you keep talking to your like I may be having a little bit of internet issues. So hopefully you guys can still hear me on LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook. Um, but what I was saying is it's so easy to get distracted. The educators, yes, yes, yes. I am so proud of my sister and my daughter are educators, and they are the old school educators. They care, they get in with those kids, and they lift them up. So yes, a shout out to them. Tara, good morning. Look, Brian Smart, Mr. Content. She's on camera. We're gonna get Brian. Brian, I would like for you next week to be a guest on camera with me, and we're gonna make Tara's day, and we're gonna make the day of so many other people to see you live, up close and personal. So all you have to do is say yes. You know I'm on Tuesday through Friday, and you can join any day, and we can go ahead and get this thing behind us, because Tara been calling you out, and you have not answered the call. But I'm here to help you, brother. Answer the call, Brian. We all want to see you. So focus. Here we go. Let's get back on course. Let me refocus. And I really want to read the people are still coming on, and Tara, I think you just got here a little bit ago. So good morning to you. Um, Denise said yes, get Mr. Content. I see LinkedIn users saying yes. I'm assuming that's you, Brian. So Tara, I think we have our yes, and we are going to have him on camera with me one day next week. So back to our quote, guys. Lack of direction, not lack of time, is the problem. We all have 24-hour days. So if you have 24-hour days, the difference between the person who is achieving all of their goals and the one that isn't is the utilization of that time. What are you doing with that time? So I encourage you all throughout your day. It's not even just a once a day thing. throughout your day, ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this now? Is this the best use of my time? I'm trying not to get distracted again, but it's hard. Um, Brian, you can't see. Eric is on Instagram, and he's Tip. So yes, Tip will be with me next week, Eric. And so ask yourself, why? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this right now? Is this the most important thing for me to be doing right now? However, the question works for you, ask it and ask it multiple times a day so that you're assessing how efficiently and effectively you're using those 24 hours. Is this the best thing for me to be doing right now? And if the answer is yes, focus in on that activity and give it everything that you have. Give it all your time, give it all your attention, do it to the fullest. That's focus as well. If the answer is no, don't get upset with yourself. Realize that you've just gotten back in control. You've got the awareness that you need. And now you can self correct. You can course correct. You can make a different choice. You can step back from the activity that you're doing that's not propelling you towards your goal and do the things that are. I like to start my day with a plan. Somebody just said it. I think it was Beatrice saying, let me scroll back so I get it correctly. Who said your oh, it was Erica. Set intentions to prioritize your day, week, month, year, and life. I support that wholeheartedly. I intend to do blah 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 today. I created a while back a goal setting workbook, and in that workbook, after we talk about goals and what good goals are and how you go about creating good goals, then there's a space to dream, actually to get quiet with yourself and visualize what your life could be. Visualize what it is that really brings you joy. What are your gifts? What are your talents? What are your values? What are the things that are important to you? And once you visualize that and you start to allow yourself to dream, the real goals that you have for yourself will start to appear. You'll start to see things and see yourself in places and spaces and with people that you may not have even thought about before. One thing that really helped me get to that was earlier this year. I saw on TikTok, people were using Steve Harvey's voice. He had a 300 things that you're asking God for challenge, and I took part in that challenge. You literally are writing 300 things that you're asking God for. That's a lot of things. And a lot of people would be like, that's selfish. I would never, da 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 da. But the beauty of it is you get through kind of the surface stuff pretty quickly. By the time you've gotten about 10, 20 things on your list, you've kind of knocked out the obvious, the things that you've always been aware of. And now you're trying to fill up the list. He's like, no, 300 is the number. Come up with 300 things. And then you start to think about things that you may never have thought about before. I had a whole conference come to mind. I saw the conference, I saw some of the things that we were going to cover, kind of how it was laid out, the subjects, the some of the people who should participate in it with me. I had never in my life thought about that. But because I was in kind of this dream space and really thinking about the things that I was interested in, it allowed me to go places mentally and emotionally that I typically didn't go. I got past the surface and I saw, if I'm doing this every day, 5 days a week, and on Mondays I have two or three other things similar to this that I do, why couldn't I have a conference? Why couldn't I turn this into a live event and actually have speakers and breakout sessions where we actually work on some of the things that we talk about every day? There's no reason why I couldn't do that other than the fact that I hadn't thought of it. And so that went on the list and that got highlighted on the list because I was like, sure, I could do that. And so now that's one of the things I plan on working on in the new year. I wouldn't have worked on that had I not been trying to fill up the list and think about the 300 things. So don't get overwhelmed by the numbers from a place of judgment. That's just too much stuff to ask for. Why would anybody ask for that many things? But just trust the process and see what comes up for you once you get past your obvious stuff that you've always known was there. You just may be amazed at what comes up. I was. And then he said, once you make your list, then you read it daily. And in a year from now, watch how much of it has come true. And I'm expecting, and I mean when I say expecting, I am absolutely expecting everything on my list to happen. And once it was funny because as I was making the list, things started to happen. As I was making the list, one day there was a lady that I didn't even really know, but I really enjoyed her. She did Facebook Lives and stuff all the time. And I really loved her topics and how she went about it. And I wrote her name on the list. And I said, one day I want to collaborate with this person. It was either that same evening or the next day. I think I was on the phone with my mom and a notification came by that the lady was live. So I clicked it. I told my mom, I said, let me go. I want to see what she's talking about today. I really enjoy her topics. And so I clicked the notification and went over and was watching her do her thing. And then um, she said, I'm gonna do something I don't usually do. I'm gonna introduce my audience to somebody else. If anybody is brave enough, if anybody really wants to, just raise your hand and I'll bring you up on stage. Hand went up because I was already connected to that experience. It had already happened in my mind. And now the realization of it in less than 24 hours was coming to pass. So I raised my hand, she brought me up. Not only did she bring me up, but she introduced me to her audience as if she knew me. She was transparent and authentic about it. She said, "We've never met. Me and this lady hadn't worked together before, but I've been watching her and she's been consistent and she's really been sharing some good stuff." And back then, I think I was pretty much only on Facebook. And she was like, "I see her on Facebook Live all the time. I'm really watching her. I hope we get a chance to do something. I would encourage y'all to follow her." And she was somebody that I was watching, and I had no idea that she was watching me as well. She introduced me to her audience. Some of those folks started to follow me. I have connections with some of those people still today. There's a lady, Deborah, who shows up quite often on and watches me from Instagram that I met through this person. And it's Speak Up Sis magazine, a fabulous magazine. She went on to feature me in not to feature me in her magazine, but one of the articles that I wrote was appeared in her magazine. She had a virtual event about women, and for a whole month, she featured a different woman on her podcast, and that was the first chance I got to work in it was a virtual studio, but it was still, I was virtual remote, but I worked in her studio with her sound team and had to be cued in and see what that experience was all about. I'd never done anything like that before. We did not know each other at that time, really, other than what we had seen, but it went on the list. And within 24 hours, she and I are on the same virtual stage talking and collaborating and sharing like messages. And it went on to be so many other things. And it's not over. I don't see her as much because I haven't been spending as much time on Facebook. But I know that the work that the two of us will do together isn't done because she's an amazing person. Y'all look up Speak Up Sis magazine, and you'll see all the spaces that she's created. Eric, all you authors, she has a space for authors where your books can go and be highlighted. She has a podcast. She has all these different things, and that's what she does is create spaces for talents to share and show their talent. Cliff is saying networking, meeting people outside your circle. Absolutely. Beatrice, it's not the most important, but I keep doing it. I'm getting better. Seeing others that's doing it is motivational. Visualization is powerful. Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. Hey, Cynthia, I've not seen you in a while. Cynthia said, amazing. Good morning, Pops. I'm good. How are you? Come here. He said no. See, he's not, he's the opposite of my mom. And that's opposite attract, right? Your wife made a beeline to the camera and she sung a song. He's standing off on camera. It'll probably take, I'd probably have to physically drag him in front of the camera. So opposites attract. Can you imagine them both fighting for the spotlight? It'd be tough, right? There'd be so much turmoil. So opposites attract. And remember that when you're with somebody, they're probably a little bit different from you. And we fuss and fight and argue trying to get them to be like us. And it's in the differences that the whole is made stronger. So don't forget that. Just a little extra tip for the day in my distracted state because I'm so excited to see my papa. So we won't be on much longer. I got to go give my daddy a hug and see what we're going to have for breakfast and all that good stuff. But I did want to spend some time with you guys talking about the power of focus. And you also got a chance to see how easily I lose focus and how I can, in realizing that, get right back on track. And so can you. So let me share the quote one more time. I'm not going to try to do it from memory. I want to not butcher Zig Ziglar's quote. Lack of direction, not lack of time, is the problem. We all have 24-hour days. My question to you, and the question that I want you to honestly answer for yourself, is how are you spending your 24 hours? Do the activities that you're taking align with the goals that you have for yourself? If the answer is no, give yourself some grace and get right back in there making different choices today than what you were making. Get real clear about your trip. Where is it that you're trying to go? Once you know where you're trying to go and you can honestly assess where you are, you've got a clear path from point A to point B. Plot your course, build your plan, and then day by day, decision by decision, step by step, choice by choice, you'll get there or not. It's up to you. It depends on what you're going to do with those decisions. It depends on whether or not you're going to take the action. And why I'm saying it that way is because I want you to realize how much control you have. You have way more control than we typically realize. So get that clarity, create that plan, take the necessary steps to accomplish the things that you would like to. Sometimes we do leap. Sometimes we have those moments that quickly propel us in from point A to point B. But most of the time, it's the day by day, step by step, choice by choice method that's going to get us there. And the reason I like that method is because you're learning, you're adjusting, you're growing, you're iterating, you're integrating the new things that you're learning as you go, and each step is preparing you for the next. So when you get to your end goal, you actually are able to get there and stay there. Actually be able to, people, I talk about the lottery. We've seen so many stories about people winning millions and being broke within a few years. If they had taken the steps and learned along the way how to manage money, learned what to do when your money is working for you and when it's not. When you learn those steps and you get that big windfall, you know how to protect it, you know what to do with it. But many times in a fast windfall like that, you don't have the skills to manage what it is you have. That's the beauty of those steps. You're gaining the skills along the way. So once you get where you were trying to go in the first place, you don't squander that opportunity. Now you know what to do with it, right? And then you can start all over. Now that I've arrived, I've enjoyed this space. What's next? It's up to you. You know the process. You know to get clarity about it. You know to build your plan, and you know to take the necessary steps to get there. Rinse and repeat over and over as you are evolving and things are becoming different dreams and ideas and passions are coming up, you know how to get from where you are to where you'd like to be. So I'll leave you guys with Zig Ziglar's quote. And I want to wish you a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Focus Friday and a great weekend. And I am off to get ready to enjoy time with my family. So, lack of direction, not lack of time, is the problem. We all have 24-hour days. So, be aware of what you're doing and how you're spending those precious resources. If you're intentional about the things that you're doing, you're not so lost and busy, but you're actually productive. Busy is doing a lot of stuff, productive is doing the right stuff at the right time to have the life that you desire. So go out and be productive. Leave busy to other folks. It's just exhausting. You can be busy and never accomplish a thing. So be focused, be productive, and enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend. And I will see you guys back next week. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate the time.